I loved the chemistry between Will and Cricket. I truly was not expecting that she was going to die. After working with Susan, were you sad that you weren't going to be able to get to explore this relationship more?
It could have been fun to do maybe another episode. It just, it's shocking. And we talked about it because we did talk about it potentially being more than one episode. It ended up being truncated, that sort of had a beginning, middle, and then in the first episode. What she represents, like I said, is a person of hope and potential, and that's just ripped away. And what we ended up realizing is that maybe there's more value in it being just another sort of thing that Will doesn't deal with, another traumatic situation that he doesn't come to terms with. And how does that affect everything else? So we've just been kind of bombarding him with a lot of stuff. It's got to have an impact psychologically. We do see in the first episode, he's getting visions of young Will. Obviously, something else from his childhood is coming up. We don't know what yet, and we don't know how it's going to impact him, but we know it's got an essence of a haunting vibe.
Will, you came to see me.
Let's talk James Ulster. There's a chance he's Will's father, but we know he's probably not going to leave Will alone until that DNA test is done. Talk to me a bit about where we go from here and sort of how Will's dealing with Ulster's dual role as both an asset to the investigation and this thorn in Will's side.
We were really excited to keep sort of diving into that world and unpacking that. Greg is such a great actor. It's such a great role. And it's a loaded role emotionally. This is somebody that, like you said, is potentially Will's dad. We found a really creative way, the writers did, to sort of bring him back into the fold, into an investigation where Will has to sort of go to him for answers. It feels kind of Silence of the Lambs-ish. It has that vibe to it, that relationship. And the fact that it's still open-ended about his father, it's all just really good, juicy stuff for story. And I think for Will, it's just complicated. And so we want to navigate that and enjoy that relationship and see what we can get. And obviously, James also has his own intentions. And he's very manipulative. When is he lying? When is he saying the truth? And it's sort of like this fluid thing and relationship, but we know for Will, probably deep inside his truth, he's desperate to know more.
Hola, me llamo Will Trent.
Before we wrap up, we see Will take Spanish lessons to feel closer to Lucy. As someone who does speak Spanish, how funky did it feel sort of having to fake not speaking Spanish in that scene?
It was really funky. The writers wrote that scene. Liz wrote it, and I told her, I was like, just so you know, first of all, he just started learning the language. So he's not going to rip through this easily. And then B, just so you know, it's going to sound different. I speak Spanish, and so I've got to unwrap that and then sort of put it back together in a way that feels that it would come out of Will's mouth. How would he say that? And it ended up being, we kind of shortened it because it was longer. And I'm like, this is going to take 10 minutes. He's going to say 2 words, struggle, look around, figure it out. Liz was there and she came up to me and she was like, it just felt so much more endearing. He's trying, he's struggling, he's fumbling. And we like seeing Will in that situation. He's somebody that likes to do great at things. And so when he's publicly presenting himself not great, it's weird for him, and embarrassing and vulnerable and all of that and emotional. So it ended up, I think, being really great. It is something that we continue on, and there's some depth to it, which is really cool.
Yo, I gotta go.